Hello, algoritmers. It's Friday night, and welcome to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, where we break down the most controversial legal battles in pop culture, separating fact from fiction and law from speculation. Today, we have 6 explosive cases that prove one thing and one thing only, and that is fame does not make you immune to the law. From a controversial internet personality facing serious assault charges to Hollywood's power players, defamation wars, and high-stake divorces, we expose the real-life consequences of bad decisions, blurred contracts, and broken trust. Is justice truly blind in celebrity culture, or does money and influence bend the scales? And most importantly, do these cases reflect our own lives, our own relationships, and our own way of taking accountability? Let's see, and let's get into it. Let me introduce our legal beagles that are joining us tonight. First up, the one, the only, the fiery civil attorney, Shatan Turner. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Hey, Your Honor. Glad to be back. Sorry I had to miss the other day. I was under the weather, but I'm back and on fire.
All right. Are we drinking tonight, counselor?
Just some water. I got to stay hydrated.
Boo. And joining Counselor Turner, is all the shit they didn't, or the shit they didn't teach me in law school, author Jason Weiss. Jason, Attorney Weiss, welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm so happy to be here and dive right into these great stories we got tonight.
That's right. And last but not least, humorous at law, the one, the only, Sean Carter. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Glad to be here, Your Honor. Let's go.
All right, everybody. Court is now in session. Oh, let's see who's up. First up, Charleston White has built a brand off of controversy, often speaking about crime and justice as if he had the answers. But now, guess what? He is back behind the bars, and this time for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. The same man who once argued that jail time can build character is now facing serious time himself. Is this karma, or is there more to the story? All right, we're going to go to you, Attorney Carter. He has openly advocated that jail time could be transformative. Does this hold up when he's the one in custody? And what is he in custody for?
We're not sure. And just like with everything with Charleston White, at least somebody might be sure. I'm not sure. He aggravated assault with deadly weapon. I don't know if he pulled a gun on somebody, a knife, maybe one of his ignorant podcasts. I think that probably should be assault with some type of weapon, with the nonsense he says online. I don't really know what Charleston's doing, but I do know this. He needs to stop. This is like his 3rd arrest in 6 months. And you know they have in Texas, right? 3 strikes and you're out. All right. Mm-hmm. He about to be podcasting from Cell Block 1.
It was a prop gun.
You know what? You guys, not tonight, please. So wait a minute. So we know that he's locked up, but we don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me.
We don't know why. They know why. It hasn't been released yet. The details haven't been released. My money's on prop gun. Just gotta say it.
Can't be a prop gun.
It's America. You no longer need cause. You just get taken away.
So what was his other prior cases?
Believe it or not, someone accused him of killing a dog with a dispute. He's been beefing with ASAP. Who was because there's like 1,000 ASAPs. Which ASAPs he been beefing with recently? ASAP stupid. Let's see. And he's always in trouble for something. He had 2, by the way, animal cruelty charges that somehow went away. They might be coming back. If you think about it, if you're fighting people's dogs, all right, you obviously a little too cantankerous.
Mm-hmm.
I think earlier this year there was a report that he'd been shot. He came back and said, "I ain't been shot. There ain't nobody can shoot me." Okay, and so this is just par for the course. This is just Charleston doing what Charleston do.
Right, and they still haven't released the official statement regarding the circumstances of his arrest. But here's the funny thing, right? He's been very outspoken of late, having to do with guiding troubled youth and advising them instead of trying to keep them out of jail. And that they should be made aware that incarceration is not the place you want to be. And here he is locked up for who knows what.
It's just crazy to me that he's been in jail for a long time and we still don't know what it is. Let's see. The controversial podcast and social media has been arrested once again in Texas. This time facing charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. We don't know what and who, or if it was an animal again. Okay. All right.
Bestiality? I don't know.
Oh no. Let's hope not.
We got that coming up later.
Did you say he's got that covered later?
No, we got that covered later.
So let me ask you this: could you, like we talked about that he had 2 strikes? So what would that play if this is his 3rd? What does that mean in the state of Texas?
Well, let me be clear. He's been arrested 2 other times. I don't know if any other convictions. I assume he has. He talks like he has a record from the past. So. I've never really understood. Maybe some of the algorithms can help me understand, because he just seems to be a brother who likes to talk ish online. He's been very successful at it. Matter of fact, I'm trying to figure out how to get that. I might need a couple more strikes. I may need to choke somebody's dog out. I think that's what I need to do to really raise my profile. I'm going to choke somebody's dog.
No, counselor, couldn't you lose your license?
So it worked out so well for Michael Vick. So he just now getting his life together after that dog stuff. So. Yeah.
Right. So, all right, let's move on, because it seems like we don't know what's going on.
We don't know what's going on.
He don't know what's going on.
All right, Jennifer Williams' husband, Christian Gold, is once again facing legal trouble. This time with the probation revocation, revocation hearing. But instead of focusing on his alleged violations, media and social media is more concerned with Jennifer's courtroom fashion. As we so blindly buy our celebrity glamour that we ignore the real issues? Are we so blinded by celebrity glamour that we are ignoring the real issues? Or is this just another example of how public perception can overshadow justice? All right, so what does that mean? What is a probation revocation hearing? What is that?
It means that he didn't get it. Right, revocation means taken away. So this is a case about him abandoning his child allegedly, and so it's really a whole hot mess. So he doesn't have custody of this child, but Georgia has a law about child abandonment that includes if you don't see your child for a certain period of time and you don't pay for your child. So he had a kind of gentleman's agreement of child support of $2,200 a month. And apparently he hadn't paid and he hadn't seen the kid. And he's up there being a newlywed, kissing Jennifer and being romantic and doing all the things that has nothing to do with spending time with his children, according to the mother of his children. And so that's what the issues are. There are 2 counts of abandonment and non-support that he's facing, because he's on probation because he had the underlying criminal stuff that we had talked about before that Simone Redwine was covering. And so it's just kind of getting deeper and deeper for him. What he wishes he had was that A$AP Rocky pixie dust. Instead of people focusing on Jennifer's fashion and having a negative, he wants them to focus on her fashion and have him get like the downstream effect of the celebrity. The problem is that people tend to not like when you don't take care of your children. So, and he had already gotten in trouble because he wasn't supposed to be gallivanting in Europe and getting married because of his underlying criminal trial.
Right. And his probation was violated. That probation was violated.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Correct. So, I mean, look, all they're doing is they're having a hearing to see if, when you're on probation, you have to follow very strict guidelines. You have to check in. You need to do what they say. When they say jump, you say how high. If he's not following these prescribed things, they have the right to go in and yank your probation, because probation is something that you're rewarded with. You're not entitled to it. It is something you can earn or get rewarded, or if you're lucky, you get it. So the problem that he's having is that he keeps doing stupid things. And Jennifer Williams is not Rihanna, right? So her going into court, wearing whatever she wants to wear, that's fine. That's only distracting. That's only bringing attention to herself. That's going to carry zero weight on the
impact for
outcome.
him on his. So wait a minute, he had one violation already. If this revocation happened, does that affect his other violation in his probation?
Well, the
Remember, he
revocation,
had to go to jail for like, what was it, 17 days or something like that, a
15
number of
days, yeah.
days.
Yeah, he might be going back. I mean, that's the thing. Since it was the probation revocation hearing. I mean, the thing is that, to Attorney Weiss's point, when you're on probation, like, so all of the time, all of God's children, especially those of us who are the darker hue, we need to act within the bounds of the law so that we don't go to jail, right? But
Right.
when you're on probation, you really need to act within the bounds of the law so that they don't find out, because they'll take you to jail fast. And so in this case, he violated the law according to his ex-girlfriend by not taking care of these kids. If I'm him, though, what I would use as a defense is the deadbeat defense, which doesn't get you very far in Georgia, but I think it's the best card.
What's the deadbeat? What's the deadbeat defense?
If I didn't abandon anybody, I wasn't never seeing those kids, right? I was only sending a check. And I'm sorry I was late, but here's my money. There is no abandonment. There was no expectation that I was going to have a relationship with them. And see how far it gets them.
Now, is this the same, Jason? We can hear you type. You can put your thing on mute. So, is this the daughter? Is this the mother, baby mama that has two kids with him, or which one is it?
Yeah,
it's the same one.
2 counts, and it's the mom who has 2 kids with him.
This is also the woman that he had assaulted and then went to jail for false imprisoning, right? For not letting her.
I think so. Yeah,
out of the house.
Yeah, he like locked her on the balcony or something for hours.
Yeah, and then she jumped off and got hurt.
Jump off to get. Oh, this is just crazy.
I was trying to find out what his original sentence was. 30 months in prison for false imprisonment. He served this sentence and was released in 2018. So since his original sentence, so if his probation is revoked, he may not even have to serve additional time, and that's what I was researching, 30 months in prison, and he served it.
Well, that he served 30 months.
Yeah.
I always assumed that meant that there was a longer sentence. He just got out early on probation.
Yeah.
Weird thing is that's 6 years.
What does revocation mean? What I'm still not understanding.
Okay, so
probation
means that you should be in jail. We're going to let you be free for a while under these conditions. When we revoke that, we're saying no. We're sending you back to jail.
So he can go back to jail.
Georgia law can get a harsher sentence.
Right. And so
they
you
can
go back,
penalize him for that.
Right. You can basically go back to fulfill your original sentence, or you can actually, if you commit new crimes out, you can get more time. Yep. But I don't know what his original sentence was, but I know this, though. At the very least, they're looking at 2 years. And they could even have him serve the entire sentence, however long that was. I'm still trying to understand why a woman this attractive and seemingly successful wanted to get Mr. Lock You on the balcony in the first place.
So by the way, Katara Tucker says, where does Jennifer keep finding all these puzzle piece ass men from? Kenny Black says, fact is, we like Jen only, and we want her. Ooh, y'all moving so fast, and we want her to hold our hand and look us in the eye and listen to us. Okay, I don't know what that's about.
Well, that's about the fact that her girlfriend's.
Delira Washington said it's 2 different women.
Yeah, that's
okay. All right. Well, okay. So wait a minute. So let me get it straight. He got one woman he done thrown off the balcony, and then another woman that he got pregnant and then just didn't want to pay for the kids.
But I know he has 2 kids.
Right. And Jennifer thinks she's gonna be different, huh?
All right, Jake. Well, I guess so. JP Mills says baby mama and the victim. JP Mills says the baby mama and the victim are 2 different people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiffany HR says she gives me kind of slow tea.
She rode the short bus.
Harmony Bones recording said they always said Jennifer got a complex on light skin. LinkedIn user said exactly so low self-esteem. I don't know why I can't even talk today. This is not happening.
Jen might as well get an ex-con fresh from jail at this point, because man,
if this is found to be a violation, he could go back to jail.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And what good is a husband that's in jail? I mean, sometimes you might want to send the one that you got someplace else. They're newlyweds, right?
Well,
they just spent all that money on the wedding. Like, this is just a whole lot of mess.
Well, if you're
By the way, ain't it weird
already in jail,
they
then you
didn't
want a
they didn't
husband
even-
in jail. So, you know.
Wait a minute, but it's interesting how they spend all this money on a wedding, but no money on the child support. Because it's only 12 grand, by the way. That's like 2 place settings at the wedding.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
That's ignorant.
There's more to this story. More to come, ladies and gentlemen. More to come.
JP Mills says Jennifer's hard up for her husband. Tiffany HR says she is, y'all. Something in her dress ain't finished.
I like that.
Okay.
like that one.
All right, everybody. Let's get into something else that's super interesting. Anthony Rico. Yes, you heard me correct. Anthony Rico. Counselor Rico, one of Diddy's attorneys, has officially filed a motion to withdraw from the case. Now, Rico is no small-time lawyer. I just want you guys to know this is a defense attorney with decades of experience in criminal cases, and he's walking away from one of the biggest trials of the decade. His reason? Sufficient reasons. Sufficient reasons. I can't wait to hear what that means from the lawyers. Sufficient reasons protected by attorney-client privilege. But let's be real. Lawyers don't just give up and leave unless something major is happening behind the scenes. Let's go to Jason. Jason, what do you think this means, and what does he mean when he says sufficient reasons?
So I'm thinking it's one of two things. It's either A, the green ain't flowing his way, and they're behind on his bill, and that's why a lot of us say that irreconcilable differences. That's what we say when we get out of a case when Mr. Green doesn't show up. And the other one could be that maybe the strategy between the attorneys, because he's not the only attorney. It's not like he doesn't have any attorneys left. He's still got 2 more. There might be some friction between the legal counsel with certain arguments, with certain strategies, who's getting the press, who's got to take, the lead, who has to sit back. So it could be that. Third, and what we're supposed to glean from this is that, he found some smoking gun or, some bottle of baby oil or something, with fingerprints or whatever it is. My gut says it's one of the first two. It's either money or not agreeing with how this is going and not being the lead person, because like you said, Rico's got decades of experience. He knows his stuff. He's an excellent attorney, and maybe he's being outvoted 2-1, and he doesn't want that anymore. And he could probably go work for other people and make more money. So I'm
gonna tell you what it's giving me. It's giving me, I don't know why, because I know him and I know his history. But it's given me, I don't want to be associated with a client who is lying.
Well, I don't know if it has to do with lying, but maybe a client that...
Or obstructing justice.
The client that did wrong, a client's not admitting. But remember, great criminal defense attorneys never ask their client, did you do it or not? Come on. We've all seen shows on Netflix. They never ask that question.
Okay.
But look, there was... Unfortunately for Diddy, and I think this guy's got major trouble, but I think unfortunately when people read this article and they see the headline that one of his attorneys withdrew and, the reasons stated are for what they are, immediately the entire public is going to say, uh-oh, they found something, that's it. And that's unfortunate because I do think Diddy did it. I do think he's going to have some legal problems. I do think he's going to, continue down this path. But unfortunately, Rico's saying, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. That's going to be used against Diddy. And that's right. One thing that shouldn't be. Okay,
Attorney Carter, let me ask you this. How much does this shakeup affect the defense's strategy? That's number one. In your mind, what you've seen in the past. And also, can this also signal a loss of confidence in the case?
Not likely, for the reasons Jason stated. And here's why. This is, like you said, an experienced, high-profile criminal defense attorney. He's not going to be scared away that he found out that his client was guilty. All right, you don't hire, if you're innocent, you don't hire the good guy. All right, you need the best when you are guilty, right? And this guy, by the way, represented the World Trade Center bombers. All right, this isn't the guy who's afraid that bad people might have done stuff. All right. And as a result, I don't think that he's been scared away, like you said, because, they found the smoking baby oil bottle, right? Not an issue. I think it's more probably the fact that there are two other lawyers and they just don't agree on how to proceed here.
You're telling me this is not going to have any effect on the strategy. Just in the public eye, it looks like he's
in the public eye. You're right.
Because it's something bad. That means it has to affect the strategy in some way.
Remember, I'm not sure that the prospective jury, they have following some stuff, but the stuff that we're talking about now, for instance, whether his lawyers have been changed, that doesn't matter. O.J. Simpson, by the way, didn't start out with Johnny Cochran. He started out with Kim Kardashian's dad, right?
Yeah.
Bill Cosby had several different lawyers.
Yeah, but that's different because they didn't fire a lawyer.
But P Diddy
dropped. They just added a lawyer because they needed a black man.
Well, no, that was to replace, and this one isn't. Look, P Diddy probably needs 30 lawyers, not just 3. So it really doesn't matter if he was the only lawyer and withdrew, something would be up. But because there's at least 2 others that are going to be there, and chances are there are so many defense attorneys that just want the publicity and the limelight right now. They're going to be like, "Hey, I'll get in on the Diddy case, no problem. Pay me in baby oil bottles, and I'll be okay. Get me free."
I just don't buy this as this doesn't mean anything, and it's not a big deal. If I was a prosecutor, I would use that as strategy. I would mention that in my opening statement.
No, I don't think you can.
Yes, it's not admissible.
It's not admissible. But I do think that you're onto something in this way, though, Al. For all of the legal and rule reasons that my colleagues mentioned, they are what they are. But here's what I think that you're trying to hint at, which is in these streets, right? Mm-hmm. Rico is respected. Rico is riding for Diddy. And all of a sudden, he's like, I'm out, right? And he could have just taken a back seat on the defense team. He didn't have to bow out publicly. And so it does make you wonder, right? Diddy was already accused of a whole lot when he agreed to take on the case. And so the noisy withdrawal, if you will, I think is something that we won't find out till he writes a book, maybe, and Diddy's dead. But I do think that there is something.
I mean, to me, this short to the case, this says something is not going right. Either.
Let me ask you this. If remember, this is high profile, one of the best lawyers. If it's a situation where he has 2 other lawyers and Diddy happens to be getting closer to one of the other 2, he says, hey, matter of fact, I want you to be the lead attorney. I want you to give my opening statement. Is your buddy going to actually sit there and be on the bench?
Absolutely
he's going to leave.
Absolutely not. That's like
yeah, but I don't think I think you're thinking like lawyers. This is probably this is probably one of the highest profile cases that we've seen in the last, as far as
exactly.
And he's not going to 5 years. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Right, you can't make these types of moves like that. That's sloppy. I mean, it would infuriate me if
they do it in every high profile case.
I understand. No, not like this. The only black lawyer that you have on your team is now leaving because of what? This caused way too much talk in the streets, and it turns the perspective of the public opinion completely around, in my opinion. Why would the only black man on his legal team drop the case, which is the highest profile case in history, which is like it would make his career even bigger than what it already is?
But not if he loses. And not if he's not getting paid, and not if he's not being able to contribute to the defense. If he's being
not getting paid, the other lawyers aren't getting paid. So I don't believe that.
A lot. Look, we work for free more than we want to, but oftentimes we pick to work for free because A, we believe in it, or B, there is the opportunity for press. And I've taken on cases where I've gotten press, and that's the only payment I've gotten, and I don't regret it one bit. But if I'm on a case and I'm not getting my name isn't out there, I'm not getting the press, I don't like the way it's going, and I'm spending way too much time on it, I can't afford to do it anymore. Now, I don't think it's a money thing for him.
That doesn't feel, I'm sorry, I just don't feel this at all in this case. I feel like this is way more significant than you guys are making it out to be. I think this is a symbol that something's not right in the defense shed. And this is not good for Diddy. I just
well, there's a whole lot not right, but I think, as you can tell, because even the three esteemed lawyers on this panel, we struggle to not talk over one another, and so you can't discount the fact that he might have a big ego, and he may have gotten demoted on the team. And if he got taken from being Michael Jordan to sitting on the bench, then that's the time when he would have been like, I'm out. So
you would say I'm out. You're making $1 million working on this case. They tell you you're no longer a lead. You can make $1 million and you're going to not be lead anymore. You would say, oh no, I'm good on that. I'm out of here. Deuces.
No, that me personally, no, I take the $1 million, sit on my butt anytime.
In the back.
But look, he's got at least 3 more attorneys. He still has Mark Agnafilio, Tenny Garagos, and Alexandra Shapiro. And if you notice,
not a single one of them are black.
But 2 of them are women.
Right.
2 of them are women.
Well, you know he had to have women, just like A$AP Rocky had to have women on this.
But I agree. But at the same time, I just don't think, in the eyes of the public, I agree, right? Oh my God, they found something. There's a smoking gun. He's screwed. But in reality, in the courtroom, it ain't. It means absolutely diddly.
he's not fighting to be on the cover of Ebony magazine, right? He's fighting for his life. So I don't even know if he gets extra mileage because he had a black lawyer. People got extra mileage from Johnny Cochran because Johnny Cochran was the best. I don't know enough about this show to know whether or not this.
No, he's really so good. He's really significant.
Oh, I'm sure he's significant because he's there, but I don't know if he's the Johnny Cochran of our time, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And so, from what Jason's saying, is there are other qualified lawyers that are on the team, and Diddy might need somebody white to appeal this to him because he's going to have a diverse jury, right? The tide is a shifting. And so I'm just not sure if it's going to have the effect that you think in his defense, Al. But I do think for the algoriters that they're probably, if you look at the chat, right, they got a lot going on about this topic.
All right, let's see what SL says. By the time he goes to trial, the public won't remember. Oh, I doubt that. No, we can't. All they have to do is re-show that video, and we'll remember again. Queen Riley says, didn't he claim racism as a new defense? Is this why he possibly bowed out? No, I think he wouldn't bow out.
No. P. Diddy claimed it as a defense. Like we covered it on Wednesday.
I know, but P. Diddy claimed it as a defense, but his team obviously came together and said that this is what
we're but maybe not. Maybe Rico was like, no, I don't want to go that route. Let's not play the race card. It's not going to work for us here. And they overruled him. And he's like, well, I got to get out now because they're going to do stuff that's going to make me lose in the end. You know, I mean, I think you think of it from the standpoint that the lawyer's looking at it from what's the best for Diddy. And he might be, but he might also be looking for what's the best for me. Right? If we ever lose in this case doing stupid stuff that I don't want to do, I want to be out of here. I don't want to lose.
All right, let's go to the algoritms. Algoritms, what did you think when you saw that Diddy's lawyer, his only African-American male lawyer, quit the team? Did you guys take it as, oh, it was no big deal, or did you take it as in, oh, something possibly is a shakedown or going awry with the defense counsel? Algorithm, drop down in the chat, please.
They took it as that's the smartest man in the room.
Huh? Okay, I'll do it too much. All right, Sir Benjamin says, which one of you would represent Diddy?
I would represent Diddler as long as I was getting paid. I'm fine with that.
All right, Nola F. Ryan said, I thought God tapped him on the shoulder and reminded him of his moral. Oh, I think God tapped him on the shoulder and reminded him of his
morals.
Yeah.
Carol G said that Diddy was in over his head. Kwame says Rico wanted to be Michael Jordan of the defense team. SL says he isn't listening. Okay. All right,
would represent him.
All right, algorithms, please, on this Friday, please hit the like button. Also, please hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit the share button and invite some friends over to enjoy the show. Also, don't forget to turn on your notifications. And as always, keep the questions coming. All right, speaking of keeping the questions coming, this one I have a lot of questions about. An OnlyFans model is suing Miami Dolphins star Tariq Hill for assault, battery, and negligence after what was supposed to be a friendly football lesson, allegedly, that left her with a fractured leg. Sophie Hall claims Hill violently ran over her with excessive force, causing serious injury. But here is where it gets complicated. Despite allegedly being in pain and unable to walk, Hall stayed in Hill's home for days, participating in sexual activity, and continued spending time with him, and even had sex with him hours after the incident. So what are we really looking at here? A clear case of negligence and assault? Let's go to you, back to you, attorney.
Get it back, I'll be undressed.
What in the world?
That's her.
Okay.
That's her.
So she brought her kid to Tariq Hill's sports camp.
Okay.
And I think when he saw her, he went instant bing, 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 eyes open. He likes the larger women and it's all good. And she got hurt. And here's what it says, that she was limping around. The wide receiver 30 gave her ice as well as a piggyback ride up to his bedroom where they became intimate. So, look, oh, my ankle hurts. Carry me up to your room and, ride me. Never mind. I'm not going to keep going. You catch my drift. And she was like, come on, big boy, try to escape. Me, I'll cover you. You could be the tight end. I'll be, your wide receiver. So she was absolutely digging Tariq Hill. She liked him. He obviously liked her. And
they played a football position and he really ran over her like he was really tackling a real NFL player.
Yeah. I mean, basically,
what type of role playing is that? What type of fetish is that?
I think it was real football. You see the thighs on her?
Yeah. Oh, no. That happened during the camp. That didn't happen on the sidelines in the bedroom. That happened in the camp when, she was out there and, she got involved in the camp because what did she want? She wanted Tariq Hill to see all the jiggling and get all excited and then be like, damn. So that's what I think. They don't call him the cheetah for nothing. And I didn't say cheater. I said cheetah.
You should have said cheetah.
No, you got this wrong, Jason. This him pretending to tackle her happened at home in his house.
No, it happened at this camp. So look.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's go back to my script. It says Sophie Hill claims Hill violently ran over her with excessive force, causing serious injury. But here's where it gets complicated. Despite allegedly being in pain and unable to walk, Hall stayed in Hill's home for days, continued spending time with him, and even had sex with him after hours of the incident.
The camp took place at, I'm pretty sure, his house. It was an impromptu football lesson at his Southwest Rangers mansion in June 2023. The camp was at the house. It was like one of these camps. Look, as a dad who has kids that play sports and do lacrosse and cheerleading, it's private camps, private lessons. You pay for those.
At a person's house, why would a professional football player put that type of negligence or would put that type of liability on himself, having a camp where people could get hurt on his private property?
No one said the cheetah was he might be the fastest man in the NFL, but he ain't the smartest. So and the physical contact was agreed to by her. She agreed to this physical contact during the camp, and then she invited and agreed to more than just physical contact.
After the camp ended, she sent her child home and she limped upstairs and got rode. I'm just not making any sense to me.
She got on his back.
Give her credit. Come on, Your Honor. She's got class, right? So she sent her kid home. So the kid wasn't up there walking in there seeing mommy like, a stallion. So that was the right thing to do. You got to get the kids out the way if you're trying to do
something.
I
got that. I'm just not understand. I guess, okay. I guess she was like turned when he ran over her and hurt her leg. She was turned on, I guess, and said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna send the baby home and I'm gonna stay here with Tariq." and he's gonna take me upstairs and we're gonna have sex. And she's
You
gonna
wanted
stay.
some money.
She's gonna stay for a couple of days.
Now, in
We
fairness to
wouldn't
her,
know who she was if it weren't for Tariq Hill thinking with his other head. Okay.
Okay, so give me the legal ramifications of this. So now she's suing, right?
mm-hmm.
Assault and battery. So can Hill be legally responsible for the injury that occurred during this voluntary athletic drill?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, no, and listen,
Because she
had everyone sign away.
Didn't she agree to the physical contact?
Maybe not that hard, right? You know, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm going to stand here and you're going to run around me. It's another thing for you to run through me. She says, I wouldn't expect him to come run through me like a linebacker. He's like, hey, you look like a linebacker. I'm going to do it. But here's the thing is, in fairness to him and her, there's a dispute as to how she got hurt. He says you weren't hurt that bad. You weren't hurt that bad. As a matter of fact, when we were doing in the bedroom, you looked like you were all good, and you later must have hurt yourself. I think you tripped over my dog, or something like that. I think that's the allegation. She, on the other hand, says, no, you ran into me. You were negligent here. And by the way, she only wanted this. But the crazy thing about Tariq, she only wanted 50 grand.
75.
75 grand.
Yeah.
He pays that much a month to 3 or 4 of the 11 baby mamas he has. Like, what is he? Why is he even bothering with this?
He makes that in like 7 plays in a football game. So it's no big deal, right?
In all fairness to her, so my sister's going to be mad that I tell this story, but I'm going to tell it. So my sister got a party injury once. She was not playing.
What's a
football.
party injury?
Well, nobody
Oh,
knows. It was her birthday. She was hanging out. She was dancing. My sister's an incredible dancer. And she breaks her foot, okay? She does not know for days, right? She's limping around. Like, everybody who was partying with her was like, what happened? Did you go home with somebody? Like, what happened? So sometimes when you break things, it's not evident of the extent of the injury. Also, you know, maybe she was drinking. I don't know. But this woman, if she was caught up on adrenaline and she's with Tariq and he's a football player and she's all excited, she might not have known the extent of the injuries. It could have been a hairline fracture or something. She goes to the doctor, finds out she's hurt. She can't work OnlyFans the way she wants for a little while. And all she wants is some money to pay for her doctor bills and to help her get through. So I don't think that for him to say, well, I didn't know you were hurt that bad, means that she actually wasn't hurt that bad, because sometimes it'd be like that.
And and people, Danielle Cameron says here, great comment as always. 75,000 only. That's only like 6 eggs in the streets. All right. and you're right. And it makes me think that maybe she's actually the one who is pushing this, and that Tariq would have easily written her the check. But like Attorney White said, we know her name now. All right. Somebody,
all the professional athletes are going to be hitting her up now.
And one of the algorithm is on our OnlyFans page right now. You need to come on back here. Give us a like at least before you go. But I'm sure he's getting fans out of this. So it's I'm sure this isn't the worst thing ever happened to her.
Wow. All right, let's keep it moving, everybody. Bonnie Blue, an internet personality known for stirring the pot, is making headlines with her surprise pregnancy. If those are not familiar who she is, she's the young lady who had sex with 1,000 men in a day. But this isn't just about a baby announcement. It's about public perception, influencer culture, and the legal implications of making your personal life a public commodity and then ending up pregnant. All right, Attorney Jay. No. This is Sean Carter.
This is Carter.
Sean Carter. Bring me up to speed with this.
Wait, I just had a question. 1,000 in a day?
Let's hear her explain it. We got some video. She can explain it to us.
I just want to hear that. Yeah.
She can explain it.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago. I told you girls, taking fluids for moisturizer was good for your skin. The big 1,000 was completely done. So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview. After to start with, it was just like the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle.
What in the world is that like? Okay, so this was the deal. Attorney Carter wanted to cover this, and I wanted to know, well, what about it is legal? She had 1,000 guys. They had sex. Clearly, it wasn't protected because, or all of them wasn't protected because she got pregnant. So, what's the legal jargon? Like, what's the legal issue here?
Well, now we got to figure out. If assuming she wants to go that route, somebody is responsible for child support. Somebody is going to be responsible for the financial burden of this child. And it was interesting because think about it. Maury Povich would have like 2 or 3, maybe he'd bring you back for 4 or 5 guys to see who the baby daddy. How do you do 1,000? Right? What kind of list is that? And by the way, they have a list of these people because they made them, all sign in and register. So they can probably find them. And 1,000 guys now need to go in and to be able to do a DNA test. Yep. And
but she has to want that, right?
She has to want that. But here's the thing that's interesting. And I was surprised by this. I had to do the research on this. I thought, wait a minute, they're filming. This is like a porn movie, right? Or is a porn actor who gets the actress pregnant, are they responsible? And the answer is yes.
They are?
There is no exemption. And you can't even contract your way out of it. The only way you can ever have a contract with a woman that says, hey, if I get you pregnant, it's not my fault and you're responsible totally, is under what's called the Uniform Parenting Act, the UPA. And what that is that's for surrogates. That's for if you go to someone, you say, hey, I want to have your baby because you have great genes or whatever. And then you have to go to a medical facility. You can't do it all natural. And the bottom line is, a couple weeks ago, I came on here with condoms to tell people how this needs to work.
Can't you argue some type of?
You came on here with condoms the other.
No, but this is the kind of condom you need if you're gonna be in the bunny blue thing. All right, this is about how big it needs to be. You need to go ahead and wrap up everything.
Because so there's 1,440 minutes in a day, and 1,000 men in a day. So that's what, like 1.4 minutes per guy.
Well, maybe, I mean, she said,
somebody did the math on it. It was a little less than a minute. She had to have some time for lunch break, right? And everybody gets a union break, smoke break. Although I can see what was smoking, but the point is that this is a serious thing. And here's why I wanted to bring this story up, because a lot of times you think, okay, if I'm with someone and we're in a relationship and somebody gets pregnant, then I'm responsible. And I want to remind you, you're always responsible. All right, whatever it happens, however the baby gets here, you're responsible if you're the daddy. Okay,
the father can't argue negligence on her part. Listen, she had 1,000 men running through her. I was just running with them.
You think you would, DNA right? Test on that? Nope, no defense.
The judge should have better speakers. Like, you should have known what you were doing and not run with her, right? Because everybody knows basic biology. And as I popped in the chat, it's the best interest of the child standard. And so they don't want to promote a society whereby men proactively say, it's not me, right? Everybody who makes the baby has to pay for the baby, at least theoretically, unless they're my babies, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, that's the whole thing. So Bonnie Blue, I'm surprised that she doesn't have injuries like that last chick we talked about, because
like a hip out or something.
Yeah.
Bonnie Blue, she needed the money. All right.
All right, everybody, let's go on to the last story of the evening. Rapper Xzibit's ex-wife is demanding $20,000 per month in spousal support, but Xzibit says his financial situation isn't what it used to be. Is this a fair request, or is it outdated thinking in an era where both partners often work? When does spousal support turn from fair compensation to a financial life sentence? Let's go to you, Attorney Shaitan Turner, our resident divorcee.
You know what? Let me get my mind back into the show, because I was still caught up on the 1,000 Men and Bonnie Blue. So we're talking about this dude, this fool, and his and his child support. $20,000 a month. I could do some things with that. I mean, I feel bad. She can't have Birkins like she used to. She can't have her $10,000 a month apartment that had 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. It's only her and her 12-year-old, so I'm not entirely sure who was using all those toilets, but she needs them. right? She needs them. So I don't know. There's some of us in these streets just trying to get make $1 out of 15 cents. And here she is with thousands of child support and complaining she can't keep her kid in designer clothes. I think it's a bit much.
How do courts determine spousal support in high-profile divorces, Attorney Carter?
It's usually in a state like California, it's a formula. X percentage of your income minus this, minus that, etc. It's not even really an issue for the most part. And this is the thing. What the problem with Xzibit though is he doesn't have a W-2, right? That you can just go and do the numbers on, because remember, this guy hadn't had a job since Pimp My Ride, right? That was 2008 when the show was canceled. He actually went bankrupt a couple of times. 2009, 2010, he had to file bankruptcy.
Wow.
So there's a question as to really, you know, how much money he has. Now he's been making some albums, doing some things. He's been, you know, doing fashion and all kinds of things, but he doesn't really have a set income that you could go and attach and say, okay, he makes X thousand. He told him he was only making, you know, 20 grand a month himself, I think. And she's like, well, I want all of it. And she says, in addition to, by the way, the 20 grand, he owes her $750,000 in back child support and $300,000 for the lawyers. So she wants $1 million and then the 20 grand a month. I don't think Xzibit got that kind of money, baby. I really don't. You can't pimp Xzibit's ride, because I think he's driving a Ford Focus now.
I need her lawyer. That's all I'm saying. I mean,
SL says she looks like the last lady.
So based on that, $9,313 per month is what she's getting, and if he owes $750,000 in arrears, that's 80 months that he didn't pay. I guarantee that arrears is the extra $10,000 or $12,000 a month that she wants. So she not only wants it now, she wants it retroactive, and she also wants $300,000 in attorney's fees.
All right, so I do have a question, and it was brought up in the chat. Let's go back to Bonnie Blue. Who pays for those 1,000 paternity tests?
I don't know, because of the volume. Some of them get paid for by the county, because she would apply for child support, and then they would have to defend on the grounds that it's not them, and then it would go through that. But given how many people might be at issue, they might have a special Bonnie Blue rule that comes.
No. A new Bonnie Blue law.
Yeah, there and here's the thing that's interesting is that maybe what they would try to do is to think about thousands is just ridiculous, right? Is to try to figure out some way to say, okay, one, can we medically test and figure out exactly when she got pregnant, so we can figure out it was between 9 and 12 p.m. and we can only test those guys. Also, if we have a register of who, you know, wore a condom, who wore the what I suggest, the hefty bag, or anything else, then maybe we can reel out some of those, because nobody, like you said, 1,000 tests is a lot of money for somebody to pay, right? If you're talking about $50 a test, that's $50,000, right? Just to find out who the baby daddy is. So they're going to try to figure out some way to narrow this down. And by the way, we don't even know that she, you know, is
right. She could have been pregnant before. She could have been pregnant after. We don't know. And that's the thing, right? And for every guy that's going to say it's not mine, well, you know what? I'll pay for a paternity test, no problem. It's not mine. I was never with Bonnie Blue. You know, sounds good to me. Which I didn't even know who she was until this story. So thank God.
Okay, Kwame, Matt,
with the over 1,000 though. I don't think she would have raw dogged with over 1,000. That's just nasty, and that's not slut shaming.
That's not safe.
Yeah,
I saw a video, because remember, I did my research.
Look, never mind. I'm not saying nothing.
Well, she said that.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. She said what?
Well, and that's the question, right? And so she said that basically at first she was going to say everybody, and then she said it got to a point where she was just like, you know what, do what you want to do. All right. I hear that, I guess, you know, latex or whatever can get a little uncomfortable, particularly if you wear 1,000. And so maybe that was the idea, but you know, I don't even want to think about 1,000.
That's crazy. I want to give a shout out to Kwame for the super chat. Thank you so much, Kwame. We really appreciate your support on the show. All right, this is the time of the show where we go back through the cases and decide if they're guilty or not guilty for the wrongdoing that they're being charged with. First up is Charleston White. Is he guilty or not guilty of getting in trouble again and violating his probation. Attorney Carter, what say you?
He's guilty of being on my TikTok feed every 4 minutes. That's all I really know. But we'll find out later.
Okay, Attorney Turner.
I have to find him not guilty under these circumstances. There's just so much to know and that we don't know.
Attorney Wise.
I find him guilty of getting himself in this situation and guilty of making me want to know what he did because they're withholding that. So I'm
right. All right, I'm Alan. I'm the judge here at Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. In public opinion, he looks what? Guilty. Guilty is charged. Next up is Jennifer Williams' husband, Christian. Is he guilty or not guilty of making all the wrong decisions? Attorney Turner, what say you?
Yes. Based on the phrasing of that question, he is absolutely guilty of making all of the wrong decisions. He needs Jesus and he needs a good therapist.
Attorney Wise?
He needs something. That's all I'm gonna say. He needs something. He's guilty of making all the wrong decisions.
All right, Attorney Carter.
He's guilty. I don't know what more to say about it. He's not the only one guilty though. Someone's guilty of poor Tussie Cat management. She can do better.
Not Tussie Cat management. All right, I'm Al Reynolds, and I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. And we're going to find Christian guilty in public opinion because he just keeps getting in trouble. He's got so many issues that he's got to work out. All right, next up, Diddy. Does Rico leaving the case show or hint to something's wrong in Diddy's camp? Is Rico guilty or not guilty of abandoning Diddy? Attorney Turner?
He's not guilty of abandoning Diddy. Being a lawyer is not involuntary servitude. So if he wanted to get out, God bless him.
All right, Attorney Wise?
I agree. He's not guilty of that. And unfortunately, the public opinion will jump to, ooh, he uncovered something, and they shouldn't.
All right, Attorney Carter?
Sorry, I'm getting caught up in these comments. but I agree. I'm gonna throw you a bone here, Your Honor. I think that for most people who are not lawyers, they're going to look at it and say that something is wrong here. Something in the milk ain't clean. But it's probably clean. He just mad that they poured his portion down the drain.
All right, I'm Alan. I'm the judge here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. And in public opinion, this looks guilty. Something in there just doesn't look right. Bonnie Blue. Is Bonnie Blue guilty or not guilty? Oh, no, wait, we missed somebody.
Tariq Hill's case. The cheater.
Tariq Hill. Is Tariq Hill guilty or not guilty of injuring that lady, Attorney Turner?
Look at his face. Yeah, he's got back defense. He likes something juicy.
He's looking like, damn, what did I do?
Attorney Wise, guilty or not guilty?
He's guilty of thinking with the wrong brain.
All right, Attorney Carter.
I'm going to reserve my judgment until the video comes out on OnlyFans. Hypothetically speaking.
I'm Al Reynolds. I'm the judge here at the Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. I'm going to find Tariq not guilty. Not guilty. Nope, not guilty. I think this is a money grab. I think she stayed a couple of days. If you were injured that bad all those days, you should have gone to the hospital. All right, next up, Xzibit. Is Xzibit guilty or not guilty of not paying that lady her money? Attorney Turner, what say you?
I usually ride for the ladies, but in this case, I'm going to find him not guilty. She needs to take several seats.
Attorney Wise?
I'm going to say if he has been paying that $9,300 as court ordered, then he is not guilty and he should just continue doing that. If she wants more, then it's on her to prove it.
Okay, Attorney Carter.
Yep. She's definitely trying to pimp my Xzibit. And so just let the brother, he's having enough trouble making the $6,000 a month payment. Help the brother out.
Well, if he could sell that chain in the picture, he could make the payment.
He sold it a long time ago.
Court of Public Opinion, and we're going to find Xzibit not guilty. We're going to find that lady, though, guilty. guilty of trying to hustle that broke man. That is not fair. I promise you. I promise you that's not fair. I mean, why are you asking for money that you know he don't have? That's the part.
Her kids don't have designer clothes. She said it in the complaint. I don't even know why you're asking questions. You know.
All right, everybody. Today we've seen a mix of crime, contracts, controversy, and consequences. From Charleston White's legal troubles to Hollywood lawsuits, nightclub power plays, influencer culture, and high-stake divorces, one thing is clear. The court of public opinion is often just as harsh, if not harder, than a judge gavel. But here's the real question. Do we hold these celebrities and influencers accountable for the same way we would hold the regular people accountable? Are we more forgiving when we admire them, or are we too quick to condemn them because we secretly love to watch them fall? The law doesn't always play favorites, but you know what? Society does. The next time you see a headline, ask yourself, are we reacting to the person or to the crime? Because in celebrity court of public opinion, the truth is always on trial. Court is now adjourned.